The New York Mets are shaping up to be an incredible team with an incredible 2022 ahead of them. Now, take those expectations with a grain of salt because, well, they're the Mets, but Steve Cohen has made damn well sure this team is a contender, or at least in line to be a contender. Going into this past offseason, they already had Jacob deGrom and Francisco Lindor totaling up to over $55 million for the 2022 season. It was a pretty big payroll that Cohen looked at, scoffed at, and decided to throw more money at. The Mets signed a ton of people this past offseason, and it was for a lot of money. They gave Max Scherzer over $130 million over the course of 3 seasons, through $78 million at Starling Marte over 4 years, $26.5 million in Marcana over 2 years, and $20 million over 2 years for Eduardo Escobar. The payroll has skyrocketed, with Cohen making it very clear that he does not care about your stupid luxury tax threshold. Robinson Cano, the man who was popped for PEDs, and his $20 million that the Mets are committed to are also going to be added to the payroll. There's no guarantee in this sport, we sure as hell know that. Throwing money at players isn't necessarily a recipe for success. It could very well work, don't get me wrong, and who doesn't want to see Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer pitch alongside each other? They have potential, and that's all Steve Cohen can do, give them that potential. The bottom line is that it's great to see an owner spending a ton and investing a ton into the team that he owns rather than the alternative, being a cheap bastard. So the Mets have a lot of great players and a solid team on paper. Although that is true, there is one massive issue with this team. Jacob deGrom right now is the best pitcher in baseball, hands down, and that's not up for debate. It might have been up for debate, say, like 3 years ago maybe, but as of right now, deGrom is the definitive ace of baseball. In 2010, 4 years before he'd make his major league debut, deGrom went under the knife to undergo Tommy John surgery. That's never a surgery you want to get, of course, especially when there's no guarantee you'll ever be the same afterward production-wise. As for deGrom, though, he hadn't even scratched the surface yet. He'd win Rookie of the Year in 2014, help lead the Mets to a World Series appearance in 2015, becoming an All-Star in the process, and although he did deal with some elbow and nerve issues in 2016, deGrom would have a solid season. 2017 was another solid year for deGrom, with him throwing over 200 innings with a 3.5 ERA. And then 2018 arrived, and this was when people started to put Jacob deGrom into the greatest pitcher in baseball conversation. In 2018, Jacob deGrom threw 217 innings with a 1.70 ERA, striking out 269 hitters, winning the Cy Young Award. And then he did it again, winning the award in 2019 after pitching to a 2.43 ERA and 204 innings while punching out 255 hitters. 2020 was a really good shortened year for deGrom, and 2021 couldn't have started off any better. There was a point in the season when deGrom had batted in more runs himself than he had given up. Seriously, it was video game stuff. He used to be a shortstop in college, so he knows how to swing the bat. By June 11, he had driven in 6 runs on the year while only giving up 4. His ERA was .56, he became the fastest pitcher to throw 100 strikeouts in a season, had a walks hits per innings pitched of .51 in his first 12 starts, something nobody else had ever done since at least 1901, and Jacob deGrom was just an overall nightmare on the mound, no matter who faced him. Everything was going great. Until it wasn't. On July 18th, deGrom was put on the 10-day injured list after feeling tightness in his forearm during a bullpen session. Later that same month, he started to feel soreness in his elbow, with an MRI revealing inflammation in that elbow but no structural damage. He didn't throw a single pitch for the rest of the season. Okay, whatever. It sucks, but you brush it off. The Mets ended up missing the playoffs anyway. So now they have Max Scherzer alongside their ace, and deGrom has had a ton of time to rest that arm from the time his 2021 season ended all the way till now. What can go wrong? Well, things seem to be looking good. That is until deGrom started to feel tightness in the back of his right shoulder while playing catch, immediately getting an MRI scheduled, and it wasn't looking likely that he was going to be ready for opening day. Not a great sign, and you hope for the best. Well, that MRI happened, and it's not the best. The MRI revealed a stress reaction on his scapula that caused inflammation in the area. So throw opening day out the window, that's a no-brainer. The Mets are shutting DeGrom down for a month, and after those 4 weeks are done, he will be reevaluated and the team will decide where to go from there. This sucks, and not only just for the Mets or for their fans, but for baseball fans in general. Jacob deGrom is the best pitcher in baseball, and the way I see it, the Pedro Martinez of our generation. He throws over 100, has a nasty slider and changeup, and the stats speak for themselves. And now this guy can't pitch. It's not his fault or anything, of course, just a very unfortunate circumstance, and obviously a huge blow for the Mets. I really wish I could end off this video saying April Fools, but I can't. Jacob deGrom is out indefinitely. Let me know what you think about all this, and thank you for watching.